Hey, welcome back to our channel. Welcome to the newcomers if you're watching for the first time. And in this video we want to talk about the weapons practice and actually about some exercises, practices that we can use to improve our handling of weapons and practicing with weapons. So stay tuned for another few minutes and let's watch together.
Okay, so let's begin with the Jo. And one way to just kind of start improving your weapons here is actually just to kind of get a feel for sort of the length of the Jo. The actual Jo length was created so that we could hold pretty much comfortably both ends of the Jo and still be able to, actually contain the whole Jo between us. So a bow, for example, would be much longer. We wouldn't be able to reach the end. Okay, and so we want to be able to reach both ends. So this allows us to grab the Jo comfortably. So what you can do from here is practice, first of all, grabbing both sides of the Jo, and also even practice holding the Jo out through the length of the arm, where you reach through the Jo, and this is coming from the body. So I'm not just holding the Jo up, but I'm actually coming from the body and reaching through. And this is a good practice for your Jo so that you can support the Jo during different types of movements, whether it's a strike, maybe a hasogaishi, or whatever. Okay? Now, related to that would be moving the Jo from the body. And in Aikido, we generally will move with the weapon, and actually the weapon will move with the body, I should say. So there are kind of different schools of weapons work, and in general Aikido, the weapon moves from the body. So the weapon will follow the body movement. Okay? So the easy way to approach this then is to simply hold the Jo however you want, whether it's in a more of a kind of a ken kamae, like a sword, or just holding the Jo in front of you, and actually relax the arms. So there's nothing in the arms at all. Right? And as I move, then the Jo naturally will follow whatever movement I do. So you just want to be careful not to swing yourself too hard and hit your face or something like that. But you'll get the feeling that wherever I move my body, then the Jo naturally will go. And if I wanted to go forward, then I've got to do some sort of body movement to go forward. If I wanted to turn and swing, then it will turn only when my body turns. Okay, so getting the body and the Jo kind of synchronized, where the Jo will follow the body. Okay, so just kind of working that out. Now then you can start to fill the arms with a little bit more energy, a little bit more support for the Jo, but still coming from the body. Okay, so wherever I move, the Jo will actually move with me. Okay, you can make this real obvious, and then it gets maybe slightly more subtle as I start to change up the movements a little bit and start to get creative with the movements. Okay, so kind of a free-form practice. Maybe it looks like something a little bit of a dance, but it's actually a practice of getting used to moving the weapon from the body. Okay? And so now when we go into a regular practice of Jo, like a more standard technical practice, then you want to bring this ability of connecting the body and the weapon, okay? The body and the Jo. So for example, if I'm going to do a simple attack of ski, then I'm going to start with the body and not just with the Jo. So the body is going to start to move and swing the Jo into place. Okay, so I will start with the body. The body is going to move the Jo into place. I'm trying to exaggerate it a little bit so that you get the feel for that. And even if it's a strike, then the overhead strike, for example, a shomanuchi, will also come from the body. I'm going to start with the body to strike. Okay, and this would go for any movement with the Jo.
Let's have a look at Boken as well. So we have already done a video about improving your sword skills, so playing with a Boken or practicing with a Boken. And today I just want to review a few important points without going too much into details. We've covered already quite a lot about the Jo, and we might come up with some other videos about weapons practice. So for the Boken, as Durward was saying, that the jaw should be moving, or let's start with the feeling of the weapon. So we want to get some feeling of moving with the Boken around, right? So how can I turn, and how can I do it from my center, from my base, so that I'm not moving the Boken, so the Boken doesn't go first leading into a new direction. It's actually my body turning, and the Boken is following the center when I move, okay? Also, when I prepare for a cut, when I raise the Boken, I can turn here, okay? And as I'm turning, because my Boken is aligned with my center line, the Boken is following, and then I can cut in any direction that I want. You could also try to practice moving the Boken around with one hand. So this is normally not the way we practice the movements or the kumitachi or the kensuburi. But it's also a good idea to get some feeling for the weight, for the size of the Boken, how it moves around. And we don't want to practice only with one hand. Sometimes we also can change the hand. Try to practice a little bit with the other one. Always supporting the weapon from the center, from the base, from the body, and always moving first the body and then the weapon. Okay. There are some nice exercises that also help to express this movement starting from the body. It's, for example, if I want to slide in just with a little tap of a Boken. Let's say in a real situation it could be trying to get on the hand, tap on the hand of another person holding another weapon. Okay, so I slide in, and from the center I create this movement of the Boken. So I raise it a little bit and I tap. Okay, and it's creating a kind of wave going through the weapon from my body. And then, of course, if we do the practice of suburi, for example, we want to focus on the details. Like at the end, I want to turn my hips in, open my hips down a little bit, which creates the angle of the weapon, which enables us to do blocks and cuts, okay, against another Boken, for example. So I want to focus on this, finishing the cut, and then getting into the hips into place, into position where I can connect it from my center, have this little angle on the Boken. Okay, so these are just a few hints today for the Boken. If you want to see more, refer to our earlier video regarding the Boken work. And if you're interested in something, if you want to see more, let us know. We might come up with some other videos related to weapons work. Thanks for watching, and see you again soon.